LeBron's putting a lot of pressure on himself for tonight. What do you guys see happening? I think Miami wins. I think LeBron has 22 points, 8 assists, and 11 rebounds. And I think that Dwayne Wade has 30, 32 points and completely closes out the game.
I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw in Game 6 against Boston last year, where LeBron will he'll shoot a lot, he won't make a lot, and he might be overly aggressive and get too many turnovers because the pressure is so immense for him to play me ball and be the man. I mean, the media is practically begging him to be a bad teammate in this situation, so I kind of think that's what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, tonight.
Yeah, I think when you talk about LeBron James, no, I think the real issue is what's Spoelstra going to do to alleviate the pressure. I'm most interested in what he's going to, where he's going to put LeBron to find the ball, and once he gets in the ball, if he can design things to get the ball to LeBron in his right spots, what's he going to do? If he's not more aggressive, I think that, I mean, he's really reversing so much good work in kind of the public perception that he's done. He's got to be aggressive, and I think he will. And I expect him to play well because majority of time he plays really well. So that's what I expect. All right, which HoopSpeak contributor, this is a really pertinent question. Which HoopSpeak contributor is most likely to live tweet a blind date from Bebogus at Twitter? And this is, of course, a reference to none other than the real Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas on Twitter. I would guess Zach because he's just the most active tweeter. And because his lady friend is also on Twitter. They could actually be tweeting back and forth at each other. So that would be my guess.
That's true. We did tweet from a Iron and Wine concert last night, which was lovely. We had nice tapas before. We had a great music show, and then somebody accused her of trying to get with the lead singer from the back of the room, which was awesome. But I think that for like tweeting a blind date, I think we all have significant others, so I don't think that we would ever go on a blind date, at least not while we're on Twitter.
Oh, we do have a question from Larry Brown. Again, I can only assume that this is the Larry Brown. If Dirk has another shot on the line at the end of the game, should Haslam or Anthony guard him? I would say Haslam, because I think he's a little bit more conscious of Dirk's habits. I think what happened when Dirk drove by him so effortlessly was he felt Haslam relaxing, and that I don't think it was an issue of technique. I think it was more an issue of Haslam thought he was going to bring the clock down lower. Dirk was real smart, went away from the double team. It's actually not LeBron's responsibility to help there. The Heat don't help there. Haslam was supposed to turn him middle because there's a lot of help on that side. So I'd say Haslam. I don't think he trusts Anthony. Spo trusts Anthony, especially on offense if they get the rebound. He wants Haslam out there.
I would say that based on what we've seen so far, it's got to be Haslam. I didn't have a problem with Bosch guarding Dirk at the end of Game 2. Even though Dirk scores his game winner, that's really either Haslam's job to step up and cut off the driving lane, or it's Dwayne Wade should maybe gamble, go double, and try to force it out of his hands. You're leaving Marion open in the corner, which I think you take those odds of him taking that jump shot at the end of the game. But Haslam in this series, I don't know after Game 4, but before Game 4, Dirk was shooting 39% against Haslam and 50% against everybody else that tried to guard him. And I think that Haslam's just, he knows his tendencies. He doesn't really go for ball fakes all that much, and he just stays on his man a lot better and challenges the shot. So I would go with Haslam.
Is Iguodala, and Iguodala is spelled wrong, and I'm offended by that. Is Iguodala really that wanted?
Whoa.
In these circles, very much so. I want him on the Warriors. I feel odd advocating for trades because players have to move around and pack up their lives. But, for Golden State, to go from Monte Ellis, who is one of the league's worst defensive starters, to Iguodala, who might be the best defender in basketball, and who's the actual size of a shooting guard, if not a little bit bigger. I mean, that is a huge upgrade. And in this apartment, Iguodala very much wanted.
I don't know why you wouldn't want Andre Iguodala. If he has to be your best player on the team, then you don't want him. But if you want a great defender who is not Monte Ellis, who's actually going to get guys involved in a good way instead of just waiting until the shot clock goes down and trying to create something, I think you're going to get a lot more continuity and just a guy that's willing to drop all of his offensive responsibilities in terms of scoring the ball so he can just defend the best player on the other team. You have to have guys like that. Even if it's $14-15 million a year for the next 3-4 years, that's just a guy you have to have.
Yeah, agreed. I think Iguodala is such a nice backcourt pairing with what they have there. He's a guy who can cover up a lot of mistakes, which the Warriors are going to make. And, I don't know what Mark Jackson's going to do on defense, or if he's going to have a system or an assistant who brings in the system. But I love that trade. This is a trade that Ethan has been talking to me about for a long time. It's been a rumor in his head. Now it's a rumor out in the open. And hopefully for the Warriors, it'll go through. Don't like this at all for the 76ers.
Oh, yeah, I'm grandiose enough to think that I caused this. Just I got it out into the ether and got Matt Steinmetz, who covers the Warriors, complaining about bloggers who favor this trade, and that leaked to everybody, and it eventually got into Lacob's head somehow. So I will take credit if it happens, and I will run from the blame if it doesn't work out. I think that Monte Ellis is a good basketball player who in this current incarnation on the Warriors is not helpful to them. And people look at the scoring, but it's inflated by the pace and inflated by the amount of shots that he takes. And I think that Iguodala is a classic case of somebody who does productive things that we don't really care about too much, such as defense, passing, and rebounding. And that's, all those are attributes that the Warriors sorely need, and I think that it would be a major boost to them, obviously, because I keep advocating for the trade.